Hi, I'm Liz Fletcher Brown, and today I'm excited to share with you how to move beyond stuck, how to get out of your own way and live with full wattage. I'm going to describe what your survival bubble is, how it keeps you living small, and the 3 key steps to leap outside of it. I used to dance professionally, and long after my professional career was over, I continued to take dance classes because of my sheer love of dance. I had a wonderful ballet teacher. Her name was Mrs. Jameson. And Mrs. Jameson would roll us all up at the bar and she'd say, "Ladies, I don't care how high you kick your legs. I don't care how many pirouettes you can do. All I care about is that when you dance with full wattage." And dance with full wattage we did. We were so radiant and joyful and alive, and we knew we were doing what we were put on this earth to do. I used to leave that dance class and think to myself, I love the feeling I have when I'm dancing, but I don't want to just dance with full wattage. I want to live with full wattage in every area of my life. Wouldn't you? So today I'm specifically going to share with you not only how to live with full wattage, but what do you do when you get stuck and how do you move beyond that? So I'm going to switch over to screen sharing mode so I can illustrate what I mean. So when you think about taking the leap, is there something specific that you see yourself accomplishing? Maybe you want to start a business that you absolutely love. Maybe you want to write that New York Times bestseller, or land the perfect job, or maybe the perfect partner. Perhaps you want to inspire people from the stage, or maybe you just want to take a trip to some exotic places you've always dreamed about going. I want you to take a moment right now and think about something specific that you're feeling stuck about that you would like to accomplish. I'd like you to visualize it right now in as much detail as possible. Have you done that? And all the thousands of workshop participants and clients that I've done this with, first people tell me that they feel inspired and it elevates them to think about accomplishing something they've always wanted to do. But then under the surface, what shows up is fear and doubt. Did that happen to you? So let me introduce you to your survival bubble. Now, your survival bubble is like this invisible force field around you. It's actually a throwback from the days when your ancestors were prey as well as predators, and they were constantly looking out for any potential threat. The ones that survived were the ones that paid the most attention to the threats, which results in your brain actually having what is called a negativity bias. So that means that part of your brain is actually always on the lookout for what's wrong and for what could go wrong and for what has gone wrong. Now, it served you very well because it's protected you from danger. But sometimes it gets in the way and keeps us stuck. Because anytime you want to make a change in your life, even a positive brain, your brain will perceive that as a threat, and it will send out the big no trespassing sign saying, danger, danger, warning, do not cross the boundaries of your survival bubble. So your survival bubble isn't anything based on reality, actually. It's an illusion. The illusion is, as long as you stay within the confines of your survival bubble, you'll be safe. But the minute you want to make a change in your life and step outside of your survival bubble, then that is dangerous and you might even die. So to make sure that you stay within your survival bubble, your brain has hired some help. I call them the sirens. Oh, no, not those sirens. I mean those sirens. The sirens in Greek mythology were these exquisite, beautiful creatures that when they sang, they lured the sailors into the rocks and they crashed. Now, Odysseus, according to mythology, was going to be sailing past the island of the sirens. He knew they were there and he wanted to hear their voices, but he also understood the danger. So he instructed his crew to first of all plug wax in their ears and then to tie him to the mast of the ship. And he said, no matter how much I ask you to untie me, don't untie me. So of course, as he got closer to the island of the Sirens and he heard those voices, he begged his shipmates to untie him, but all they did was tie him tighter. So even though he knew they were there, it wasn't enough by itself to stop him from wanting to jump ship and swim towards them. So how's this relevant to you? Your sirens are there to stop you from leaping outside of your survival bubble. They're there to lure you back in anytime you want to make any kind of change in your life. So you might think, well, why don't I know they're there? They don't know they're there because they disguise themselves in such a way that you think their voices are your own. You hear them like thoughts in your own head, and they can be really, really persuasive. So then the question then becomes, well, what do you do if you want to take a leap and you want to leap outside your survival bubble? Well, let me share with you the 3 steps. To illustrate the first one, let me tell you a little about the Argonauts. Odysseus wasn't the only one to successfully navigate the island of the Sirens. The Argonauts had a really different way of doing it to evade them. So they had Orpheus on board, who was a beautiful musician. So Orpheus played the lyre, which is like a small harp, but he played it so beautifully and so exquisitely that it drowned out the Sirens' song. That takes me to the first step on how to get outside your survival bubble and get unstuck. The first is focus. And you're going to focus on what? On your vision. But here's the thing, most people, when they have a vision in their life, it's something based on something they think that they should do. Many people spend more time planning their career than they do planning their own rest of their life. Your vision has to be so strong, just like the Argonauts. The music had to be so beautiful, it drowned out the siren song. Your vision has to drown out the noise of your own sirens. How do you do that? It has to be a vision that sources from the very core of who you are. It has to be a vision based on your sense of purpose, based on your unique strengths and your passions, and the things that are most important to you. So the first step to leap outside your survival bubble, to get unstuck and to live with full wattage, is you have to get super clear on a really big vision that's big enough to drown out the song of your sirens. And that takes me to the second step, which is to stay aware of the sirens. And here's why. We always underestimate their power to keep us stuck. So staying aware means become aware of your siren song. You will notice whenever you try to take a leap and get unstuck, your siren song will generally be kind of the same. Maybe your sirens are telling you that you're not good enough. Or maybe they'll be saying, well, who do you think you are? Who's going to hear what you want to hear what you have to say? You're too old, you're too young, you're too attractive, you're not attractive enough, you're too stupid. Oh, I don't have time for all this. What's your siren song? You see, once you are aware, with awareness comes liberation. The reason the sirens get to keep you stuck is because you don't realize they're there. You hear what they're saying and you just take it as truth. Once you recognize your siren song, you'll be liberated and you'll see them for what they are. So the second step is to stay aware of the sirens and don't underestimate their power to keep you stuck. The third step is to create. And there are 2 things that you must create to get unstuck and stay unstuck. And they are support. I know what this one is. Structure. You have to have support and structure. Remember how we talked a little bit before about how your brain has a natural tendency to focus on the negative, and it actually is something that used to be there to protect us? Well, because of that, when you hear the siren song telling you that why bother, you failed before, you're going to fail again, or you're simply just not good enough, a part of your brain is actually going to say, yes, that's true, because of that negativity bias. So even though Odysseus had full support of his crew, he had to have a structure in place. They tied him to the mast, they wouldn't let him go, and they supported him in not swimming ashore. You need support and structure too that will keep you reinforcing the new reality you're moving into. So what might that look like? Support could be the support of a coach. It could be a mentor. It could be friends who've already done what you want to do. It could be joining associations, reading books, watching inspiring movies, learning about people who have taken a few steps ahead of you and how did they do it, and infuse yourself with the support and the structure to keep reinforcing the reality that you're stepping into. Again, don't underestimate the power of the sirens, because the closer you get to leaping outside of your survival bubble and truly becoming unstuck, the louder their voices will become. I can't tell you how many coaching clients I've had that have wanted to say, find the perfect job. And we help them put the resume together, find the right place, the right environment for them to work in. They get accepted and they're just about to take that position when all of a sudden they call me up and they say, Liz, you know what? I think I'm just going to stay in my job. You know, my boss isn't that bad after all. I think I'm just going to give it another try. The sirens got to them. I hear it over and over and over again. So put the support and the structure in place so that when you doubt yourself, you have people you can rely on and structures you can rely on to help you get unstuck and stay unstuck. So let me do a quick overview for you. The first step to getting unstuck is to focus on your vision. Remember, it has to be a vision big enough to drown out the siren's song. A vision that stems from the core of who you are, from your deepest sense of purpose and your passion and your values and your strengths and gifts. Second of all, don't let your guard down. Stay aware of the sirens, because their job is to keep you stuck. And your job is to go beyond that. And finally, create support and structure. Don't do it alone. Manifesting dreams is not a solo endeavor. You want to create the support and structure to help you on the way. And so to do that, I do have a little gift for you today. If you go to lizfletcherbrown.com/VOW for Voices of Women, of course, I've got a gift for you. It's an audio process to help you get clear on what your big vision is. The biggest thing I hear from people is they're just really not sure on what that vision is. So it's a lovely audio process to help you to get clarity and get focused. So remember, I told you a little bit earlier that I used to dance professionally. So speaking of dreams, I'd love to share really briefly how I managed to get unstuck. A little bit about one of my dreams that came true. As young as I can remember, I wanted to be a professional dancer, dance from the stage, but not just any stage. I wanted to dance at Carnegie Hall. I don't know where I got that from. It must have been some movie I saw as a young child. So from as young as I can remember, I'd put my little tap shoes on, climb up on the kitchen table, and I would announce to the world, it's Liz Fletcher. And the kitchen would disappear because I saw myself on stage at Carnegie Hall. I visualized it in such detail, and it came to pass. I did manifest my dreams by focusing on my vision, being aware of the sirens, and putting support and structure in place in my life. And when I stood there on that magnificent stage on the opening night of my dance performance, I thought I could be standing on the very same spot that Tchaikovsky had stood, or Judy Garland, or even the Beatles. And I thought to myself, I wonder how my life would be different if I'd let those doubts stop me from living my dreams. So what about you? What dreams do you want to manifest? See, what the world needs now are powerful women who are bold enough to take a stand for their vision, ignite their brilliance, and to make the difference in the world that only they can make. It would be my honor to support you on that journey, because I can't wait to see what you manifest. Again, my name is Liz Fletcher Brown, and please go to my website, download your free gift, and I do hope our paths cross again. Thank you.